Hey gang, Spacetime Badass here. Recently, in the lucid dreaming Reddit community, there have been a ton of questions regarding getting acquainted with your dream body. And so I felt that was a good indication that there may be other people out there, not in the lucid community on Reddit or anything, even that are probably having the same kind of issues and questions regarding how you get acquainted with your dream body so that you aren't waking yourself up. So what's been common in these posts, and these are things that I've experienced as well, is you'll have vision issues where you won't be able to see very well, or you'll only be able to see certain parts of the dream and that sort of thing. There will be body issues where you're trying to move your dream body and you're moving your physical body and waking you up. There will be just dual body sensories where you're feeling your dream body and you're feeling your physical body at the same time, which can be distracting. And there's one with speaking as well, where you're speaking in a dream and that can cause you to lose it. And I'll kind of explain each of these a little bit and what I've done to help myself, and hopefully this helps others as well. So, first off, what is it? What did I say that the first one was? This is a terrible start. So, we'll just address the feeling of two bodies first, because there's not a whole lot you can do on that. Feeling two bodies, feeling your dream body and your physical body at the same time when you're in dreams is very common when you're starting out. It's something that happened to me, and there's not a whole hell of a lot you can do with it other than just continue to practice lucid dreaming and this issue will start to go away. Now, what you want to do if you want to kind of accelerate getting over this hump is to not do things in the dream that are too big. And when I say that, I mean you don't want to do something in a dream that would overextend your physical body at first. So I'll use an example. When I first started lucid dreaming, I came upon a gigantic rock and I was lucid, and I said to myself, I'm going to lift this rock and I'm going to toss it. And this rock was huge. It was like a 1-ton rock at least. And so I pick it up and I get to like here, and then I noticed that my physical body is also straining as if I were really doing this, and I could really hurt myself, and or pull something, and I had woken up. So when feeling two bodies, take it easy, do small, reasonable things. You can still go throughout your dream and do what you want, but save the superhero stuff for later. And that's really good advice just for all dreaming in the beginning with lucid dreaming. You don't want to materialize things that you had not ever seen before, or that are just way bigger than life, and right out of the gate you don't want to try that, because you can get discouraged if it doesn't work, and it can just kind of cause issues anyway in dreams. I think in one of my other videos, Lucid Dreaming What's Next, for things to do in lucid dreams once you've already begun to lucid dream, and tips and tricks for morphing things and other things, conjuring things up, and changing scene and that sort of thing. Anyway, in that video I think I used a dragon as an example. So you want to do things in your dream that are kind of like commonplace at first, and you'll want to materialize things or morph things that you have a lot of experience with in waking life. And that is because you are not yet acquainted enough with lucid dreaming when you first start out to get these larger than life results. So if you want to materialize a dragon, it can not work, or it can just be really weird. You could summon up a weird concoction, or you could summon up nothing at all, and that's kind of discouraging at first. So I'd recommend just kind of building up to it. Materialize something that you have a lot of experience with in day-to-day life, and this will boost your confidence and get you more acquainted with what you can do in a lucid dream, and then next time you're that much better off to actually do something a little bit more crazy. So kind of the same thing with that as with feeling the two bodies, and just kind of not biting off more than you can chew, and just kind of taking it easy and getting experiences that are more profound rather than I'm, running really fast, or I'm picking things up, or I'm flying right out of the gate. You want to kind of ease into those sort of things. And that can help you kind of get on par with your dream body more and not the physical body. Another thing is touching things in the dream when you're feeling both of your bodies. You want to acquaint yourself as much as possible with that dream. So you want to touch things in that dream, focus on how they feel, how they look, not long enough to be idle, mind you, because being too idle or running around and doing a lot of things are equally as bad at ruining or losing a lucid dream. You want to find a middle ground where you're kind of jaded and kind of like, okay, I'm lucid dreaming, I'm going to go about my dream plan, which you should have now, and go down the list of these reasonable, accomplishable things in the beginning that you can go through and not be idle and that sort of thing. So what I do even to this day to make myself more in the dream is I'll walk around and I'll touch furniture, lean on furniture as I'm going around. I'll run my fingers along the wall as I'm walking, and that sensory input from your dreams will help you focus more on your dream body rather than your physical body, along with taking it easy and slow, small, escalating steps. Excuse me. Let's go into vision now. So you're going throughout a dream, and your vision becomes patchy, or you can only see certain parts of the dream, that sort of thing. And this is something that will still come up for me, even as a seasoned lucid dreamer. It's just one of those things that, it'll happen from time to time. Dreams are weird. So if you're having trouble seeing in your dreams, a lot of the time you can rub your eyes and that will correct it. What I've found that had helped me, and I think I said this in another lucid dreaming video about me meditating in the lucid dream after I had been kind of like partially blind in the dream. I was like, I couldn't see very well, and I started to only see the floor, so I was like, this is what I can see, I'm going to sit on the floor, and that corrected the issue. And then I had an awesome experience where I dealt with some emotional baggage that made me just a more integrated and better person. So if you're having trouble seeing in a dream, go to where you can see. If that's the floor, that's the floor. If it's a couch, go to the couch. If it's another room and you're getting away from this room and the vision's getting worse, go back. Your subconscious is kind of guiding you a little bit, which is what the subconscious does in dreams. There's usually plot, there's purpose, and the subconscious likes to give you roles to play. Yes, we don't want to always play into this with lucid dreaming because you can lose a lucid dream, but how you get there and what you do when you get there are completely up to you. If you're taking a lot of time to get there, you could lose the dream. If you get there and you do nothing, you could lose the dream. A lot of the time there's this kind of bait and switch with the lucid dream, even down to like interacting with dream characters, and they're like, hey, come over here. And you're like, oh, okay. And you go there and you're not lucid anymore. So you kind of have to, you can do things that your subconscious wants you to do in a way that keeps you lucid. For instance, recently in a dream even, this happened to me. I was walking through this really crazy house that was like overly decorated and really old and dilapidated. And I see this guy that I went to high school with, and he walks by me, and I was like, that's really weird. I don't talk to this person ever. And he was like, hey man, come back here. And at first, reaction was like, this is really weird, and I want to see what's going on here. So I was like, okay. And he turned around to go, and I was like, actually, I don't want to go back there. And he just turned around. He was a little frustrated. And I knew him to be a really artistic person in high school. So I asked him to then come with me back to where he wanted me to go. So I was like, yeah, just come here and tell me the importance of art. And I stayed lucid throughout that dream by not playing right into what the dream character had wanted, my subconscious, to go back here, and this is where you should be in the dream. I kind of flipped that down to, no, actually, come with me, and now tell me about this. So you're keeping that control where it's your idea rather than the subconscious idea to keep you kind of localized and stupid in your dreams. And actually, I learned in that dream that the importance of art was humbling yourself. Anyway, yeah, so with vision, the dream is kind of baiting you. It's kind of telling you to go over here a little bit. And a lot of the time, yes, you want to resist when you're being told to play this role by your dream. But again, how you get there and what you do when you're there is completely up to you. I mean, teleport, that sort of thing. So you can kind of, a lot of the time with vision, though, I've noticed that, yeah, the dream wants you to be in that area, but there's really nothing going on when you're going blind that would make you lose the dream. In my experience, it may be different for you, so use some creativity to get there, to be where you can see without falling into the traps that the subconscious likes to lay to make you not lucid anymore. Did I mention rubbing your eyes? Rubbing your eyes can help. And another one that I've been keen on recently is called dream goggles. That's what I call it. So wearing glasses, as I'm wearing now actually, is not commonplace for me at all in real life. And this might actually work for you better if glasses are commonplace in real life. But what I'll do is if I'm having vision issues, if it's becoming patchy or I can only see one area of the dream and what have you, then I will tell myself that in my back pocket is a pair of glasses that, when put on, will help me see this dream better. And that's the important part, because if you just say, there's going to be some glasses in my back pocket, and you pull out the glasses and you put them on, there can be no change. You have to actually tell yourself, in my back pocket, there are glasses that when put on, I will be able to see this dream better. And then you put it on, and it's like magic. It helps a lot. I love dream goggles. So there's a lot of workarounds. You're starting to see now, I'm sure, that there's a lot of creative workarounds that you can do in dreams that will get the effect that you want without losing the dream or waking you up. It's all a matter of figuring out how your subconscious works and how to work with that, because we want to be on the same page with our subconscious. And a lot of this is getting on the same page with your subconscious, because in lucid dreaming, you are going to encounter so many situations where you're going to butt heads with your subconscious, and you want to be on the same page, which is knowing yourself, being comfortable with yourself, being honest with yourself, with what you want and how you can achieve it in life as well as in lucid dreams. So lucid dreaming is a wonderful thing in that it forces us to become better people. And the biggest part of becoming a better person is understanding yourself as much as possible so that you can understand other people as much as possible, so that you can understand the universe as much as possible and grow. And I love that lucid dreaming forces us to do this. So you want to work with your subconscious, and most of the time when you're transitioning into a lucid dreaming life, there's not that same page, because your subconscious has been doing things the same way for a long time, and so have you. So when you try to change the dynamic, you're going to get some resistance. So you want to just be really comfortable with lucid dreaming, the idea of it, and work out any fears or problems that you might have with it, and that's going to make these incidents occur less. But you can even cause problems if you're on the same page with your subconscious. You can do things in lucid dreams or waking life that will wreck that, and you have to repair the damage. It's just this constant balancing act within yourself to be on the same page and be best friends with your subconscious, which I think I'll post a video about at some point, because it's a big thing in lucid dreaming that people don't always acknowledge. But this is kind of the process of like all the body stuff that goes on, getting acquainted with the dream body when starting a lucid dream, is from that resistance, and you have to solidify your relationship with yourself and your subconscious to get more on the same page. And lucid dreaming over time, these issues can begin to correct themselves just by doing it more, but again, this video is for people who just kind of want to streamline that process. So we've gone over vision, we've gone over feeling two bodies. Let's go over movement in dreams. So your dream body is not a static thing. It is your representation of yourself, and that can not always be true to the physical body. So there's this kind of disconnect. And when you're doing things in dreams, you'll move your real body or wake yourself up, or you just won't be able to do things. So yeah, there's like further proof that the dream body is not a static thing can be done by the common thing of like looking at your hands in dreams, counting your fingers, that sort of thing. A lot of the time, you'll in the same dream and varying between dreams as well, there will be differences in this hand. So I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same, or it looks very vivid, but I know that the lines in my hand aren't quite like that, or something of that nature. In fact, I've had hands in dreams that looked like this, and this was like one finger, and there were little bitty fingers coming off the tips on either side of the finger. So the dream body is not static. It is something to familiarize yourself with. So how do we do that? So if you're going through a lucid dream and you're moving in the dream and waking yourself up, you need to focus more on the dream, which kind of goes back a little bit with the feeling of two bodies touching things in the dream to make sure that you're in that dream. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Forgot to mute this. Anyway, however, what we can do for this one in particular, yes, touching things, that sort of thing, but your dream body is different than your physical body. So in the physical world, we don't have to think about, I'm picking this thing up, I'm doing this, you know, and in a dream you have to give it a little bit more thought. Maybe think of expectations and that sort of thing, but more so what helped me tremendously with this issue when moving my physical body with my dream body and waking myself up was willing my dream body to do things rather than doing them myself as I would in physical reality. So instead of I'm going to reach out and grab this, it's I'm going to will my dream body to do this without putting any effort in physically and just do it all mentally. So I would tell my dream body, you know, I would just imagine my dream body reaching out and grabbing something and tell it to do so, and it would happen as if I were doing it, but you're just kind of pulling the strings from behind the scenes in this scenario, and that helped me tremendously. It really, really did. And what I would do is I would start with walking around and thinking my body to do things rather than doing them, and gradually I would do a little bit more myself. So it would be like I'll tell my dream body to grab this object, and then maybe once you're there, pull it back yourself. That sort of thing. That kind of like push and pull, but integrate doing things physically with thinking yourself to do them. So when you start out, maybe think yourself to do stuff in the whole dream, like will it to happen, just as if you would will a person to be there, or if you would change the color of something or morph something in that regard. You would kind of visualize and tell it to happen, and it happens. It's the same with the dream body. It's easier with the dream body, trust me. And so if you just kind of will your body in the dream to do these things, and then gradually increase it to where you're kind of doing everything, then that helps your subconscious and your conscious mind integrate a little bit better that dream body to where there's not that disconnect, and then gradually you're not going to feel your physical body when you're in a dream at all, unless something's terribly wrong, like I clench my jaw and I can feel that pain sometimes, and that's good that I can feel that because I can wake myself up. But will it to happen? It's a simple workaround, and I think I'm going to go back to not overextending yourself on this one as well. Just do some things that are kind of commonplace, that you have a lot of information in your head to go off of, to where you're not doing these superhuman feats and feeling that disconnect. What is the other one? Speaking, I believe. Speaking. You did vision. You did feeling two bodies. You did the waking yourself up by accidentally moving your physical body when you're moving in your dream body. And now I think this last one is speaking. So speaking in a dream is really weird. It really is. And in waking reality, as I'm speaking now, I don't really have to tell myself, you know, that I have a mouth or that I'm going to say these words. It just kind of comes out because that's the reflex, and that's how physical reality works. This is static. This isn't going anywhere. It's not going to change from, you know, day to day very much. I'm going to grow some hair. I'm going to shed some skin, that sort of thing. But overall, the physiology of my mouth is not going to change. In a dream, it's different every time. It's different second to second, dream to dream. What are the common issues that we run into with speaking in dreams? Particularly yelling. So when people will say, "Clarity now," they're yelling, and yelling, I've noticed in dreams, is more work than talking, and there's a lot of issues with that. And a lot of the time when I'm speaking in a dream, even now, I like to use telepathy a lot, but I mean, it just depends on the dream, you know? Like, I can talk fine in plenty of dreams, but other dreams, it's like I don't have a mouth, or I speak and nothing comes out, or I speak and I feel like gravity pulling the words out of my mouth, the air just pulling it, sucking it out, and nothing happens, you know? It's just like, these are issues that can persist and can go away and come up for a dream or two here or there. It's just stuff that's gonna happen in your lucid dreams, no matter how long you've been doing it, that you need to know how to deal with, and the sooner the better. Eventually, you know, the issues will decrease and they'll go away for a while, but every once in a while they're gonna pop up, so it's nice to know how to deal with them. So even if you just wait it out and lucid dream and practice, these issues will get better. However, they're still going to come up from time to time, so you need to know how to deal with them, so why not? So, in regards to speaking, one thing that you can do is telepathy, and I use this a lot. It's fun anyway, just to like think words, and people are like answering you, oh yeah, ooh. So telepathy is a good thing, and I've noticed that it comes up a lot if you're asking your subconscious, the awareness behind the dream, a really big question, or you want to say something to your subconscious that, you know, I want more of this, or can we do this? And you'll get geared up to say this thing that's very important to you, and then there's that resistance there. So thinking the same question or message or whatever will get the same results, and you will get an answer from the awareness behind the dream most of the time, a lot of the times in your own voice, which is really cool. So telepathy, just think the words to the person or to the awareness behind the dream, think the words and expect that they will receive it and answer, and they generally will. Telepathy is great. Another thing you can do if you want to actually go through the process of speaking is to get yourself acquainted with your mouth. So in a dream, how often do you look at your feet? So probably not very often, but you're still like walking around because that's what you expect you will do. And you know, it's only when you look at your feet that you really acknowledge that you have them in a dream. And the same with your hands. So the only way that you'll really acknowledge that you have hands in a dream is if you're going for your hand, you want to look at your hand or do this thing or whatever. And you reach out and grab something, and that arm is there, and then, you know, say you toss that to the side, your arm's to the side, and the arm doesn't exist anymore, and your mind's going to make another recreation upon putting it out. So, same with the mouth. So you're not projecting a mouth in your dream. I can see my beard out of the periphs in waking life. In my dream, I can't. You know, I'm not material. I'm not focusing on that. I can't, like, see my nose in my dream because I'm not focusing on that unless I want to, you know. So it's the same with the mouth. You don't have a mouth in a dream until you want to use one. So what I will do is other times I will actually acquaint myself with my mouth first. So what does this mean? It's kind of silly. So just reinforce that you have a mouth to yourself, okay? Just kind of that sort of thing. Run your tongue around the inside of your mouth. Maybe clear your throat, or just that sort of thing. Say a small word. Just acquaint yourself and affirm to yourself that you have a mouth in this dream, and you can use it to speak, because there are so many weird things that can happen when you speak in a dream. There really are. And it's best to know how to deal with it. So, like, you don't even have to speak. You can use telepathy, or you can just kind of acquaint yourself with your mouth and then speak, and that issue generally goes away. So I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to touch on. There were so many questions in Lucid Dreaming subreddit lately. I've answered so many questions in the past 24 hours about these things specifically, and I was like, let's just kind of cut out the middleman and make this video. Maybe I'll post it or tell people about it. I encourage anyone to go to the Lucid Dreaming Reddit as well. There is a lot of garbage there and people wanting to orgasm and fly, and that's all. but there's also some good information to be had if you're asking the right questions, and I'm on there a lot answering questions. So that's why I want to make this video, because I noticed that there's a need for it, and there's probably a lot more of you out there who are having the same issue, but you're just not asking about it, or you're not asking about it where I'm seeing it, and people like myself who know a little bit more what they're doing are going to answer it. So these are some really good things you can use, and there are other things that haven't been invented yet that work for you too. You'll have to use your imagination a little bit to use some workarounds that will better acquaint you with your dream body, and you always want to vary up these tactics with more so doing them as you would in physical reality. So it's like, I'm going to will myself to do it this time. Next time, I'm going to try to do it and see how that works. So try it halfway and integrate that slowly into your dream body to where when you enter a lucid dream, for the most part, you will be able to do what you want to do. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Spacetime Badass.